game day overreactions. When you're in the heat of a match and things are getting tense, sometimes you can just say a couple of things which are a little bit silly. We haven't just gone with the Stat Chat group this week. We've had a little bit of outside influence as well. We've seen a couple of silly calls coming in from the fans of Stat Chat as well as the media. So we will bring those up on the show this week. But to start off with, the call whilst the GWS game was going on, it was about a man that's been not too great over the last couple of years, but starting to look back to his normal self. Stephen Coniglio is looking back to his best. And BT came up with the call that Cogs is a guarantee for an All-Australian Guernsey this year. Tazza, your thoughts on that?
Rate it. Not an overreaction. I'll back you up 100% there. I think that game on the weekend was a huge turning point, albeit against the Gold Coast. Yeah, no, he did look very good. I think there's 32 disposals. I think there's about 10 clearances. He looked back to his best.
BT, you're obviously pretty happy with the man Cogs. You stand by your call on a half-forward flank, or do you reckon he's cracking a midfield Guernsey?
Oh, who knows? He could be in the back pocket. We don't know, but he's getting that Guernsey. So more than likely the half-forward flank because he does hit the scoreboard. That's the big thing with him. I know last season they put him at full forward and he was just lost, but now he's running throughout midfield, going forward. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't make it, to be honest with you.
Good call all round. We like that. BT, you nominated Carlton Hawthorn last week as the game of the round, and you were definitely proven right. It was an absolute cracker, came down to the wire. And I think in all the excitement, there was a few silly statements thrown around, not just by the Stat Chat boys. Carlton, top 4 contender, top 2 contender was the call. And Steve went as far to say that Carlton would win the flag. Also saw some interesting calls in the media. Daniel Harford, who does have ties to both Carlton and Hawthorn, it must be said. He said that this was a grand final preview. Tazza, are we reading into this? Is this legit?
That's awful. That's clickbait. That's 100% clickbait. Look, great game. If you could put that there as a grand final, it'd look great. The spectacle that game presented, but let's be honest, we've got 2 better teams, in my opinion, in Melbourne and Brisbane. Like Brisbane are just tearing it away at the moment. They'll factor in somewhere. And as a pure spectacle, if we're looking at that as a grand final preview, then he's dead on. But the teams won't be there.
Yeah, BT, are you thinking that Carlton's the real deal here? You know, are they going to be finishing top 2? Are they going to be there right at the pointy end of the season?
I think they're top 2. I like their whole squad from defence to the interchange. They're
big call.
They've good all round, especially with Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow up front. If them two stay injury-free for the whole season, that's the 2 best forwards in the comp. Right there as a combination. That's
interesting.
Very hard to
I agree. But I'm thinking back to our season previews, and I keep remembering that we were so big on Geelong's forward tandem. It's interesting after 3 weeks that we've just completely flipped.
And obviously, clearly, Harry Mackay last year winning the Coleman medal, and Charlie Curnow's obviously clearly fit again. Paddy Cripps, fully fit. He clearly leading the Brownlow, he would be. 3 votes every game. They look really good. On Brisbane, with Tazza saying he reckons they've won the top 2 teams. They've had Port Adelaide, clearly shithouse. Essendon, clearly shithouse. And North Melbourne. Can't read in Brisbane too much.
Yeah, no, agreed. But Brisbane were ruthless on the weekend. They did not take the foot off the pedal, and I think it's that ruthlessness that will have them there at the pointy end towards the end of the season.
They won't lose at home. So, but yeah, I can see Carlton pushing at least top 4. They're definitely up there. They've got the squad there.
I can't go with you just yet on that. I want to see a bit more from Carlton, but I do agree they are looking in very good form at 3 rounds into the season. We have spoken about Port Adelaide already. Missing finals, I don't think is an overreaction, but the overreaction that I had, and this was before Port Adelaide lost the game, was that if Port Adelaide choke this game, which they did, Ken will be lucky to have a job come Monday. Tazza, do you think that Ken's going to lose his job this week? And if not this week, how long are we going to be waiting?
Nah, as much as I'd love him to lose his job, it's not going to be this week. Gosh, he's got too much faith. The boys' club, it's too strong. I think they're going to go 0-5. I think they lose this week. Scotty Lysette come out today and said, we're going to give it our all. We're going to leave it all on the ground. Well, where was that the last 3 weeks? I mean, I thought you meant to do that every game. I never knew you were meant to give half an effort. I thought you gave it all every time, but apparently not. So, look, they're going to go 0-5, and then Koshi's going to have some calls to make. Round 6 is going to be big. If Port lose to the Eagles, that's when heads will roll if they lose.
Yep, we're certainly looking forward to that one for all the wrong reasons. Make sure that you do send in your game day overreactions if you are watching this and you're watching the footy over the weekend. I had a couple of comments from Rich Guy Not on YouTube. Last week, he thought that the Bombers would miss the finals as an overreaction. That certainly doesn't look like it's an overreaction now. Also, from the States, shout out to Justin Timberlake's brother, James Timberlake, giving us some love on the YouTube videos. He's actually quite big on the Bombers, even after 0-3, thinks that they'll make finals as a game day overreaction. So respect the call, like the call, keep them coming. We want to hear plenty more from you out there who are watching our content.